Up and Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up and Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
All right, Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Thank you for being Up and Adam. My name is Adam Montiel. But breaking and entering Christmas, we'll talk about it in a second. Also, Jingle Jam. Tickets now on sale. I haven't really even announced it. Well, technically, I was on Central Coast Spotlight yesterday with Scott Taylor, but we already sold some tickets. So AdamMontiel.com. Also, you can go to My 805 Ticks. We'll put links in the show notes from now until the show. Every day, there will be links in the show notes. I'll put them at the very top. All right, to get your tickets to Jingle Jam. More on that in a second. Today's show, even if you've never seen a single frame of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I want you to stick around for this episode because this isn't just about a cult classic. It's about art, about legacy, love, and mainly rock and roll history through the eyes of someone who straight lived it. Coming up, Pati Rock. She is the wife and creative partner of legendary photographer Mick Rock. Yeah, that Mick Rock. She's going to join us. Mick was the man behind the camera for icons like David Bowie, Queen, Iggy Pop, Lou Reed, and yes, the raw, unfiltered madness behind Rocky Horror. And this year marks a big one. 2025 is the 50th anniversary of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. 50 years since that weird little midnight movie started taking over the world and somehow feels more alive than half the stuff that drops today, right? Pati, she was there on set, in the dark room, in the moments that became absolute legend. And now she's opening up about their life together. The book she helped bring to life and the new photographic art form she's developing that merges her own vision with Mick's, her love's, unforgettable images. It's intimate, it's iconic, and it's a really rare look behind the lens of a life lived in art and music. And I never really considered myself that deep into the Rocky Horror thing. I don't even know if I've ever gone to one, when they come local and stuff. But I respect it because it's so, and then all these artists, and there's a lot here. There's a lot here. It's going to be a fun conversation. I'm excited she's down to chat. So that's up in just a couple minutes, though. First, well, good morning, Earthquake Country. Damn, a 4.1 shook the North County yesterday morning just before 10 o'clock a.m., centered off Highway 46 west in Templeton, about 5 miles west of the 101. KSBY has got this story. Check this out.
4.1 earthquake hit in northern San Luis Obispo County Tuesday, with local residents and businesses feeling the widespread shake.
Barton Family Wines, my boys.
Dylan Foreman taking a look at some of the damage and talking with people about their experiences.
In my bedroom, and it felt literally like my roof was going to cave in. It just shook.
So they got like surveillance camera. Wow! Just like boom, quick.
It felt like I had been hit by a truck or something. The whole lift jumped off the ground.
There's winemaker Brad Ely. So this happened. It must have been centered right there around, just kind of like right on that where the winery sits, because that was like just 2-3 seconds, but of violent shaking.
And the earthquake originated near Highway 46 in Templeton, about 5 miles west of Highway 101. Among the places it was felt was Grey Wolf Cellars and Grey and Vinecraft Distillery, toppling.
So that's all in the same spot. That's all Barton Family Wine Estates right there.
Bottles and glassware, but surprisingly, the Jenga set outside remained upright.
Now, how is that possible? The Jenga, just a little tipsy on top, but actually stayed up. And that's something.
Everything was on the floor, not dissimilar than it was back in 2003. Not quite as many bottles. Like in 2003, this whole thing was on the floor.
Oh, no. Do you remember the 2003 earthquake here? That was, from growing up in Southern California, 87 Whittier, the Northridge 94. Like I felt them all. That one in 2003 was brutal. Living in downtown Paso, 8th and Oak, in this little house that was built in like 1916. It had like one plug that was actually like 2 code. Just had things falling all over the place. That was like the first time where an earthquake was just had stuff falling all around you.
Joe Barton has now been a part of a few big earthquakes, including the deadly 6.5 San Simeon earthquake that caused major damage to downtown Paso Robles.
It's so funny. They play B-roll from that time. It looks like it was in the 80s. Like, cameras have changed so much. They're showing camera stuff from 2003, and it looks like old times. It's crazy. That video looks like it's from the 70s. It was 03.
While this one was far less devastating, it was memorable, especially for the students of Pat Butler Elementary.
I remember being on a soccer field and experiencing an earthquake, and I'll never forget the feeling. So I absolutely think our students will remember today.
Butler Elementary School Principal Christy Holman says her students were prepared after taking part of the Great Shakeout just last month, a time every year school districts take to practice earthquake safety.
Our students and our staff were ready to respond to an actual earthquake today.
Waking up to a shaking roof, crashing glass, driving a rattling forklift, or running around on the playground, the effects were felt throughout the Paso Robles and Templeton area.
They feel more like a rolling, and this was such an abrupt kind of stop that it didn't feel like anything I had felt before.
Wow.
We forget, like, we are an earthquake country. It's going to happen. We're very fortunate that was, that if this is just the size of it, great. Because when it gets bigger, it gets a lot more, obviously dangerous.
The Paso Robles Police Department reported that as of 11 a.m. Tuesday morning, there were no calls related to damages due to the earthquake. In Paso Robles, Dylan Informant, KSBY News.
Little Jenga thing at the end. Dylan Informant, KSBY News. Back to you in the studio, Richard. Wow, that's crazy. 4.1. But see, it goes to show that a 4.1, we go, there's not that much. But when a 4.1 is like underneath you, like literally underneath you, ain't no joke. And not one of those rolling ones. That was a jerky kind of shaky shake one. Man, just looking at the feed, the surveillance camera in the tasting room there, it gives you chills, man. But like Joji said, we're an earthquake country, baby. Glad everyone is okay. All right, what else is going on? If you're still stuck taking care of the turtle your child desperately needed 15 years ago, just know that there's worse pets kids could demand in the future. Researchers are saying that raccoons may be inching closer to becoming pets. A study from the University of Arkansas Department of Biology found that raccoons are physically changing in response to their interactions with humans. And by physically changing, they mean their faces are evolving to look cuter. They're not dumpster diving less or becoming less disease-ridden. One biologist says once wild animals start spending time in the proximity of people, they become a little bit less afraid and perhaps even start showing physical signs of domestication syndrome, they call it. Raccoons aren't the only animals that this is happening to. Foxes and mice that live in urban areas have also gained softer facial features. Isn't that interesting? But please, let's not make this a new TikTok trend. These animals do not make great pets, at least yet. It's even illegal in some areas. And they may look cute, but both foxes, raccoons, they can be quite destructive. They need lots of space, lots of wilderness in their environment. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But we have seen those viral videos of someone just like, oh, the raccoon's coming in, they're petting it. It's like, what is going on there? But that's interesting. I love that word, domestication syndrome, where their faces over time get cuter. All right. Times are changing. We talk about it all the time. Would you rather buy a used car through a dealership, through Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace? Now, both can be intimidating. So what if you could buy one on Amazon? Like literally everything else. Amazon partnering with Ford to sell certified pre-owned vehicles online. And it's not just a link to a dealership. You'll be able to browse the inventory, work out the financing, and complete the purchase within Amazon Autos. Your Ford Bronco will not be shipped to your front door in 2 days, though, or be towed to your house with a special Amazon Prime truck. You schedule the pickup at a participating dealership nearby. Amazon says, quote, this represents an exciting expansion of our store, giving customers access to thousands of quality vehicles backed by Ford's inspection and warranty programs. We're creating a car buying experience with the convenience Amazon is known for. Now, people online are hoping that Amazon's process can make things hopefully a little more transparent than negotiating directly with a dealership. Hold on, let me go talk to my sales manager, right? Which, let's be honest, they've earned a reputation for being pushy, sneaky, a little bit outright deceptive in some spots. Not everyone. If you're a big Amazon nut, you may know that Amazon Autos was already launched a little while ago, but it hasn't gained much traction. This new deal to sell used Fords could make it a much, much bigger thing, though. For now, you still got to pick up your new vehicle at the dealership, but some people on social media are saying things like, death to dealerships. Thinking that if Amazon is in the game now, the whole industry could be shifting. I remember talking to John Lindsay one time. We were out having lunch, and he talked about, it sounded foreign to me. It sounded like, I know John Lindsay is brilliant and super smart. And to me, when he was saying this, I'm like, is this guy crazy? And he's been totally right so far. We had lunch probably about maybe 8 to 10 years ago. No, I mean like 7 to 8 years ago. And he said something like, don't be surprised. And this is going to be one fallout of the radio industry. And this is what he told me. Don't be surprised that dealerships start getting really scant with their cars, that they don't have a lot, because the more that these self-driving cars come around, and now like Tesla's doing this like self-driving one where it'll take you everywhere. And then when you're at work, it can work for you like Uber, like you're not even in it. Yeah, like once those become mainstream, cars are just going to change. And once that does, I mean, really the only people, if anyone's keeping radio alive right now, it's those big monthly local contracts of like dealerships. I don't even know of another industry that's doing it. So as soon as car dealerships leave advertising radio, which some of them kind of already have, like a lot of them do digital and stuff, it's like that might be the final nail in that kind of terrestrial radio coffin, to some people's opinion. I don't know. Look, I've seen how the radio business has changed. It's literally affected me, but kind of an interesting aspect on how cars, the evolution of cars and dealerships directly affect your local TV, radio, broadcast industry. Okay, back to this story. Yeah, for now, you're going to have to pick up your vehicle at the dealership, but it's really interesting kind of story that we might be buying our cars on Amazon. All right, let's do a little Thanksgiving nugget here. Who would you rather deal with next Thursday? Your uncle who won't stop talking politics, or a bunch of little kids who can't sit still? 47% of Americans say sitting at the kids' table sounds more and more appealing every year than ever this Thanksgiving. Millennials were the most likely to agree, 62%. Yeah, it's because they're still living at their parents' house. A wine company commissioned this poll, which is fitting. A lot of people lean on alcohol to get through their Thanksgiving dinner, but it's responsible for a lot of those fights across the table, I'm sure, too. According to the survey, these are the top 10 topics we're hoping to completely avoid on Thanksgiving. Number 1, you guessed it, Trump. Well, politics in general, but let's be real, right? You can pretty much bank on it topping the list each year, politics. Number 2, money. Avoid pointed questions like, so how much are you making these days? Like, who would ask that? You have that one aunt that probably would. Appearance or weight. Come on, don't shame anyone for what's on their plate or for what's under their shirt. It's just not, no. Religion. Why don't you come to church with us? Or it's a common question around the holidays, which, it's a nice invitation, but getting deep into religion during a conversation, for the wrong family, that might not be a good idea. Their ex. Avoid questions like, why isn't Jerry here this year, honey? Mental health. It's just a bit heavy for dinner chit chat. Work or career issues, personal struggles. Again, the article is kind of like, look, just keep things light, keep things good. Current relationship status. Now, some things you're going to want to catch up with people. But things like, why haven't you found anyone yet, honey? When are you getting married? Or like, when are you having kids? And number 10, other family members. Try to avoid bashing, gossiping, never good at the Thanksgiving table about someone who isn't there to cause a fight, just bring the mood down. These are pretty sound pieces of advice, these 10 things, conversations to avoid on Thanksgiving. All right, finally, WTF, what the food segment. Also, kind of in the vein of Thanksgiving, store-bought gravy will never compare to the homemade version. We know this, right? Yet, everything Thanksgiving, some people force themselves to tolerate gravy from cans, jars, cartons, because it saves them hassle from making a fresh batch. It's easier, right? It's convenient. And now there's a new option. Ready for this? Squeezable gravy. Thank you, Heinz, I think. They launched the first ever squeezable gravy bottle featuring its home-style turkey gravy. It's called Leftover Gravy, and it looks like a bottle of stadium mustard or something. They say it's specifically for sandwiches. It was inspired by the Friends episode where someone steals Ross' Moist Maker sandwich, which was made from Thanksgiving leftovers, with the secret being the gravy-soaked, like sliced piece of bread in the middle. Pretty genius. It's available exclusively Walmart.com, or at least it was. To get one, you need to buy a jar version of it first for $1.88, and then they'll include a limited edition Heinz leftover gravy kit with the squeezable version and a recipe card. Last we checked, it was already sold out, but it seems like they're going to be restocking it at least through this coming Thanksgiving season. Not totally clear. It says while supplies last, but get to Walmart.com and check it out. Squeezable gravy, though. I mean, here's the thing. Making gravy doesn't take that long. Have all the things, you know, do a little, whoop, that didn't break. That's good. You just kind of, that's what happens when you talk with your hands, right? So you kind of just whip it up a little bit, keep patient, and you can have gravy in a matter of moments. So, all right. What do you say we get into our chat with the one and only Pati Rock? This is going to be a fun conversation. Before that, I want to thank my friends at Life Elements. And here's why I believe in Martha and Kurt and what they got going on at Life Elements. I've seen what they do. I've walked right in and without hesitation, you smell something great. I mean, literally my sinuses cleared up. I'm like, is that menthol, Martha? She was doing some awesome stuff in there. I love those little not bath bombs. They got those, and those are going to be selling out soon. I'll talk about that in a second. But the, what does she call those? The little like eucalyptus tablets that you just put at the bottom of the shower things. I don't know. You just drop them at the bottom of your shower. They make your whole shower feel like you're, you know, like in some spa. It's so cool. But right now I mentioned the bath bombs. It's Christmas time, and normally they'll do the Black Friday thing. And right now you can get 20% off. You can reserve them now because these will sell out. They sell out every year. They sell out earlier and earlier every year. And this is a great gift. Perfect gift for someone who maybe you got to send a gift to. Perfect gift for you showing up to Thanksgiving, someone's house. Boom, have a little box of bath bombs. Nice little kind of gesture. Stocking stuffer. It's all good. Check out the bath bombs. They are the absolute best. The CBD. And again, these things don't just smell good. They work. They make you feel different. They heal you. LifeElements.com. Use the promo code Adam. Save 15% on everything in your cart. It also helps them It lets them know that you heard it on Up and Adam, for crying out loud. But I do encourage you to go to 7425 El Camino Real, Suite O, at back right corner of the plaza. Check them out. LifeElements.com. Use the promo code Adam.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, my guest today is someone who's lived a life most people only get a glimpse through a camera lens. Pati Rock wasn't just the wife of legendary rock and roll photographer Mick Rock. She was his creative partner, his collaborator, and his compass. Together, they captured and shaped the visual iconography of a generation. From Bowie to Blondie, Queen to Iggy, and yes, the unforgettable world of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And this year, that film turns 50. Half a century of midnight showings, cult status, and a visual legacy that's just as wild and subversive as the day that it premiered. Mick was the only photographer given full access to the filming of Rocky Horror. And now, thanks to Pati, we're getting a whole new look at those moments in a stunning new book. She's here now to share the stories from that time, what it was like to love and create alongside Mick, and the beautiful new work she's doing to carry his legacy forward. Pati joins me now. It's great to have you up and Adam. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, they say Rocky Horror wasn't just a film, obviously. It was like, maybe a rebellion in fishnets. The sets, they were raw. Oh. The energy was unfiltered. And behind it all, Mick had full access to capture whatever stirred his eye. So what did it mean for both of you to have that kind of artistic freedom? And how do you think that shaped the soul of these photos?
That's a good point. Artistic freedom and the what Richard brought to all of us by creating this was that sense of freedom and fun and inclusivity, which I think we really need now. But for him, because I wasn't there, when he was on set. We didn't meet yet. But for him, I think it was part of that time, especially in London and in New York and in LA, those cities where it attracted creative peoples. I think it was just the way everyone lived, really. I don't think it was groundbreaking, but I think actually it wasn't like people were playing at it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They were living it. And I think Mick being right in the middle of it was someplace he was very comfortable.
And most people saw Mick as the man behind the lens for, gosh, Bowie, Queen, Lou Reed. But the real story, the one not everyone knew, was the woman beside him, building, creating, dreaming. What was it like loving someone whose work was constantly orbiting fame and yet finding a private universe of your own within that whole whirlwind?
It was easy. He was who he was. And what we built together was that what is now referred to as a safe space. But everyone needs a downtime. And it was our home life, it was with our dog and our cat and our daughter. And he loved New York. And we just for me, Mick was just Mick. Yeah, I knew of him even before I met him because I loved album jackets and I would read the details of who photographed who, and so it was part of life, and I was just very lucky to be with a soul like Mick's.
Was there ever a moment, Patty, where the line between Mick Rock, the icon, and Mick Rock, the man you knew, felt hard to hold?
Well, if he got too big for his shoes at home, I'd let him know. I'm a New York girl.
I have an East Coast girl at home, too. You ladies are fierce.
Yeah, we're just like, hey, who are you? Just relax.
Who are you? I love that. Now, Rocky Horror wasn't just filmed. It was unleashed, gender bending, camp, chaos. And in the middle of it all, Mick's camera didn't really just document it. It kind of interpreted it all. What did that 6 weeks of shoot feel like in real time? What's something unforgettable, maybe either chaotic or intimate, that you found out that those photos will never be able to fully tell?
Again, I just think that he had total freedom, right? Richard had total freedom to bring his creation to life. And, when you have total freedom and people love your work and they're like, hey, just go around and grab people, pull them aside, do Mick Rock. We don't need a set photographer just taking photos of sets. We want something else. And I think that's what you see in this book.
And not just his partner, but you were co-designer, collaborator, curator. What has it been like stepping into the role, Patty, of kind of a guardian in a way, and like a reinterpreter of his archive, especially with this book and the exhibitions ahead?
Oh, well, it's bittersweet, but I've watched him published, I think, almost 20 books. So it was bittersweet, but I knew what he liked. I know he was very particular. He, because he not only photographed, but he also wrote too. And I think when but before he even met David Bowie and worked with David Bowie, he wrote some articles for Rolling Stone. And I just, what was it like? It was just, I just think for him, he was able to do his style of photographs with these people that he loved working with.
Mm.
He loved characters, he loved artists. And, it was really his cup of tea.
And Mick was known for these electric stage shots, explosive imagery. Was there a favorite photo, in this book, not because it's loud or iconic, but because this photo to you just captures something honest and raw and almost unexpectedly human?
Well, I don't personally, as far as the book, I love that we've included so many contact sheets. So fans could, really get in there and look at all of these other photos that they have never seen. Um, but personally, for me, there is a photograph of me that Mick took. We put it in the back of the book by the acknowledgments. And um, it was Mick and I in the 1980s, just out of nothing, coming up with an idea for a photograph. So it was very personal. And I had a lot of fun collaborating with him on these things.
Now, obviously, Rocky Horror didn't just survive, it evolved. People dressing up, singing along, throwing toast in movie theaters. Why do you think Rocky Horror became more than a film? And how did Mick's photographs help codify that language over time?
It's like a time capsule, right? He grabbed these moments that even the principals enjoy. So I think that is really
Right.
special. Um, and yeah, it was just so special to him, and you know, and for his friends, which I consider Richard O'Brien, one of his friends, and they've maintained contact through the years. So I'm not sure if I answered your question there, but yeah, it was pretty much like that for him.
It really feels like Mick had this gift to shoot not what someone looked like, but like what they felt like. And I feel like that's why artists trust him. And that's kind of the way I look at it. And, when Mick photographed someone, did he ever tell you what he was really looking for? What do you think he saw in people that maybe others missed?
He loved the faith. He loved characters. He loved Little Edgy, he loved what was happening at that time or at any time that he photographed. Um, yeah, I think he really treasured being part of it because from what he knew at the time, he knew of the stage production. And he had met Richard O'Brien when he photographed him for Tooth of Crime, Sam Shepard's play that was running in London. So yeah, I just for him that was where it was at.
Was there, Patty, ever a moment where he captured you as more than a collaborator, but as his subject? That a photo that maybe still moves you to this day?
Probably the more private ones, the ones where we're just, walking around parts of England, really family photos.
Now, you've spent decades in Mick's world and, holding space for his work, his vision, and now your hands are on the wheel, right? What do you want your creative voice to say next? Not just as Mick's legacy and as that keeper, but as Patti, the artist.
I want to always respect my husband's work. It's not about me. It really isn't. And even this book, because my husband had done about almost 20 books prior, I wanted this one to be him too. And going forward, that's how I'll do it. Um, it's not just the subjects, but the photographer.
Mm. When you think about Mick's legacy, not just the work, but like the real spirit that you understood behind it, what do you want most of us to carry forward about that?
Mick's legacy. I just think I think there's freedom in his work. There is loyalty in his work, if you understand that. He had a great relationship with these people. It wasn't a photographer showing up to photograph an artist, and then they finish their shoot, never to be spoken to each other again. Now Mick, he was their friend too, and he was a very loyal friend, and wanted to show them as they felt they were, becoming whatever they were becoming. I think he kind of co-curated, which is also another term used so much nowadays, with these artists on how, the next album, or just a free form expression that they wanted to convey.
Yeah, I remember talking recently to Mindy Rickles, Don Rickles' daughter, right? And talking about, when you're curating someone's legacy, it's sacred. Every piece of their art that you choose or don't, it kind of changes that story that we tell about them. What's the emotional weight of choosing which images represent Mick now? And do you ever feel him nudging you creatively in what to choose?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely. Because sometimes I can't find a photo and I know it's around. So I kind of ask aloud, like, where did you put this? Please help me find it. And if I can, I kind of think, well, he didn't want me to find that one.
Oh, that's so sweet. We live kind of in this world, Patty, where where the world is obsessed with the past, but also it's so quick to move on. And your work invites people to pause, to feel, to really revisit. Why do you think we're still so pulled toward the analog, the gritty, the real? And what is it about these photos that make us need them again?
I think the piece itself, the whole Rocky Horror, reaches out to everyone. A lot of different people, all different ages, could find their freedom within that story. But I just think, it's very difficult to edit those things.
Yeah.
And I try to put as many photographs as I can in these books, which I will do going forward with the next book or the next book, whatever that may be. And, but yes, it reaches out to everyone. And it was a very special project. I was so happy that this was the first book, 50th anniversary. And I think what you talk about the past, I think it really resonates now. All of that freedom, all of that inclusivity for everybody.
What a huge anniversary for such a huge, piece of history. Patty, I can't thank you enough for taking the time and, opening up stories from the past and about your love and about all of it. So thank you very much for this here. I really appreciate you being up and at it, Patty.
I thank you so much for having me, Adam.
Some say you start again.
Patty, thank you so much for being here, sharing these stories and this love. It's really a beautiful thing to see someone continuing the creative legacy of a partner who is no longer here physically, but still so present in the work, the energy, and the images. You could feel that connection, their connection, in every page of this book. To learn more about Rocky Horror, behind the scenes of a cult classic, out now, visit the show notes. Got all them links for it. And if you love the chat, I really encourage you to, share the chat with someone who loves art, film, Rocky Horror, music, or just a damn good story. All right, I got to tell you, breaking and entering, it's full swing. We got to find our family soon. So you must nominate a family right now. Last chances. Closing that door of kind of, phase one into phase two. We need that family. So please nominate a family who has had an impossible year, one where Christmas just ain't happening. Go to adammontiel.com, links in the show notes. And if you want to get involved, if you're a business and want to learn more, please reach out. We need you. This only happens with a community kind of vibe. And so we need you. We need you a lot. So thank you so much in advance. Please share. Even if you got $5, you could Venmo that. If you want to pool something with your work, or maybe you own a candy company and want to stuff the stockings, or I don't know, maybe you're a Scotch tape company and you could send us some rolls to wrap presents. Anything helps. Now, Jingle Jam. Tickets are on sale right now. Let me tell you about Jingle Jam right now, because this is so much fun. Jingle Jam, I got a lot of great artists. Where'd my press release go? Listen to this. Listen to these artists and I'm still confirming some. December 11th, Libertine Brewing, downtown San Luis Obispo. So right as you're coming out of Farmer's Market, you come hang out with us. It's going to be insane. Damon Castillo Band, KB from Emua, Dan Curcio Moonshiner Collective, Josh Rosenblum, John Millsap, Michael Vinia of Carbon City Lights, Brianna Lee and Josh Barrett from Beat and the Hive. And I even have a couple more that are going to be dialing in here. So this, again, we are putting together the Avengers of local musicians. If you love local music, there won't be any other musicians to see, because they're all here. And this breaking and entering, the help goes directly to our family. And it's kind of special to put this together when we don't even really know. We don't even know our breaking and entering family yet. We haven't met them. Yeah, we're already doing things out of love and out of just like holiday spirit for them. It's pretty cool. So get involved. Go to adammontiel.com. Our Breaking and Entering Christmas now in its 12th year. And you can even put a little donation in the as you're buying your tickets. And thank you to My 805 Tix. My805tix.com is their website. They put us on the top, like little, rotating banner. And they're giving us a great deal on, not charging us a bunch to process these tickets. So I just couldn't thank Paul Irving and the whole team over there with My 805 Tix enough. Jingle Jam, again, December 11th, adammontiel.com to get your tickets. That's an easy way just to link. Or go right to My 805 Tix. You can link in the show notes. Right at the top of these show notes, it says get your Jingle Jam tickets here. And that is the link, baby. All right. Moonshiner Collective, I thank them very much for original music on the show called Start Again. Also to my friends, Josh, Chiasa Clapper, who have Timbre Winery, world-class wine. You can taste it in the village of Arroyo Grande. And they're, for them getting involved with me and being friends and giving me the Timbre Lobro Studios, just eternally grateful. Absolutely love them. Fantastic stuff. Tomorrow's episode, really looking forward to it. We're going back local. Today we had a national name. We're going local tomorrow. The Great American Melodrama will be in the Lobro Studios. We're going to have 4 different actors from this new holiday production, their holiday extravaganza. Always sells out. It's always a huge ticket for them every year. And just the fact that I got them in the Lobro Studios, we're going to have a blast. Every time we talk to the Melodrama, it is awesome fun. And tomorrow will be no exception when the American Melodrama is in the Lobro Studios. Good stuff. Okay. Until then, I want to thank you for being you and for being here, for connecting it. I mean, you have just no idea. It means a lot. We're coming up on my 2nd anniversary next week of Up and Atom. Tremendously chaotic time being laid off of something that you love doing. Watching the industry you have loved since a sperm completely change on you. and the rug come right out from under you because there's just no money left to pay you with it. You know, I mean, the industry's changing. And the fact that the community and businesses and you connect with me here every day for Up and Adam. I mean, we were a top 2% podcast globally. That's insane. There's 3.5 million podcasts floating above our head for this one to have downloads in all 50 states and over 60 countries. And it still be local for the most part. Like, we are from local, we're still talking to local, but we are getting some, national traction too with different names and guests. So it's a cool combo of it, but it would not happen without you. So please know that as we approach this, memorable time for me, yes, it's Thanksgiving time, but Thanksgiving means a lot more to me because I want to say it's the 27th of November. We kick things off in 2023. So I just thank you so much for being here and for being Up and Adam.
Some say life's where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again. Let's start again. We'll start again. Let's start again.